You're adding together the top and the bottom, 21 plus 41. And then you take the height, divide it by 2, and then you multiply. So 18 divided by 2 is 9, and then you're going to multiply it by 21 plus 41, which is 62, and you get 588. Okay? These are probably one of the hardest ones to find the area of. Trapezoids are difficult, so if it's not clicking, that's all right. Okay? Let's look at this next one. We have a lot of different numbers here. Okay, let's start with the bases. We need to find the two lines that are parallel to each other. They're the straight lines that are either on top of each other or next to each other. So in this case,
6 and 8.
Good. 6 and 8 are our bases. So 6 is the top and 8 is the bottom. Those are our bases. Which one is our height, though? There's 3 numbers here that could be our height. Which one is our height?
Is it 4?
It is 4. That was really quiet, but it was 4. It goes from the bottom base to the top base, so our height is 4. So if we plug all of that in, you take the height, 4, and divide it by 2, and that number gets multiplied by base 1 plus base 2, so 6 plus 8. So that becomes 2 times 14,
Which is 28.
which is 28. Good. Okay. And again, it doesn't matter if it's on its side. This time, our bases are on the sides. They're parallel lines on the sides. So what are our two bases? What are those measurements this time?
10 and 18.
10 and 18. And then what's our height, the distance between the two bases?
9.
9. Good. So when we plug all of that in, we take 9, divide it by 2, and then it gets multiplied by 10 plus 18. So if we just keep
Wait, but
going.
you can't divide 9 by 2.
But you can. You just get a decimal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is where we get into a lot of decimal stuff. So 9 divided by 2 ends up being 4.5, 4.5. And then we multiply that by 28, and we know how to multiply decimals. And in this case, they get 126. So let's go ahead and practice this. Do we want to do it on the jam board and try it on there? Or do it here?
Let's do it on what times you can go to the board?
Do it on where? I can't hear you very well, sorry.
Let's do it on this a couple of times and then go to the Jamboard.
Okay, that sounds good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and go out of the presentation view, and we're going to click on the type here part. So remember, we need to do the height divided by 2 times base 1 plus base 2. So that's our formula, okay? So let's just start by plugging in numbers on the next line. What's our height here? There's a lot of numbers here. Which one is the height between the two bases?
The height is 10.
The height is 10. Good. So the height between our two bases is this dotted line in between. So it's 10 divided by 2, and that's going to be multiplied by base 1 plus base 2. So we need to figure out what base 1 and base 2 are now. What would those be?
6 and 20.
6 and 20. Those are the two lines that are parallel to each other. So this one and this one. So 6 plus 20. Okay, good. Now we just need to do the math on this. We could do a couple steps at once, or we can just do it step by step. If we're looking at this for order of operations, though, PEMDAS, what would we do first? What do you guys think? If we were doing order of operations, what would we do first?
You do parentheses.
Our parentheses first. So our 10 divided by 2 would stay the same, and that would be multiplied by, what is 2 or 20 plus 6?
26.
Good. 26. Awesome. So now we have a division and multiplication. So 10 divided by 2 times 26. What should I do first now?
Now you have to divide 22 and then
Divide first. Good. 10 divided by 2. What's 10 divided by 2?
5.
5 times 26. Last step is just to do that multiplication. So take a second.
I already did it.
You already did it. All right.
Yep.
Give everybody else a second to do that multiplication.
All right.
Okay. Times 26. Okay, guys, stay off the Jamboard for now. We will go back to it in a few minutes, but it's going to be an issue. We won't use it in the visual slides anymore in our meets. It's a cool tool, but we got to use it correctly. Okay, what is 5 times 26?
130.
130. Oh. 130. Good. Now we still need to add our units.
Square.
Meters squared. Okay, awesome. There's our answer. Good. So that was one of the practices. Then we go to triangles. But before we go to triangles, I want to do one more practice with you guys. So
I think trapezoids are easy.
good. So let's go ahead and head over to the Jamboard for a second. I'm going to clear this so that it's all gone. Okay. And I need you guys to stop writing on it until I ask you to. Please and thank you.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a trapezoid up here. Put some measurements. Oh, man, it's not letting me draw a trapezoid. Okay, I'm going to make...
I could draw a trapezoid.
I'm just going to pull one from the internet. Okay. There we go. So we have a trapezoid here. And again, please don't be writing on it until I ask you to, so that it doesn't get in the way. Thank you. So I'm going to put some measurements on here. Let's say that this is 4 inches on the top and 6 on the bottom. And then I don't know if I'm going to be able to draw a dotted line on here. So, let's say our height is also 4 inches. Alright, so we have all the measurements we need. What's my formula going to be? Who remembers the first part of the formula?
The bases?
We need to do the bases, good. So we have base 1 plus base 2. Then what do we do?
Then you have to do the length, divide it by 2.
Close, not the length, but the height. So we're going to multiply times the height.
Why is it divided by 2?
You know, there's a whole explanation somewhere out there about how you find the area of trapezoids and why it is the way it is, but I don't remember it. So I can look into it and I can tell you guys tomorrow. But
Okay.
it's, yeah, there's a reason. I just don't remember what it is. Okay, so we have our formula here. I want you guys to first, let's plug in some stuff, and then I want you guys to work it out on your own. So let's start with our base 1 and base 2. What would those be on this one?
They would be 4 and 6.
Good. 4 and 6. Can we highlight things here? See? Highlight in blue. So our bases are the top here and the bottom. Okay. That's kind of cool. I like that. Then we go back to my text box. So our first base is 4 inches plus 6 inches. Then we need to multiply it by the height. What is our height? Guys, can we not be moving things on here? If this is going to be too hard for you guys to not draw on it, we're not going to use it anymore. It's a cool thing to be able to use. Good. The height is 4 inches as well. So let's do that one in red. 4 inches. Okay, 4 divided by 2. Right. I want you guys to take a minute, maybe 2, to work this out. Don't put the answer up just yet. Let's give everybody like a minute or 2 to work out this problem, and then we will put the answers up. Okay, so be working on this one, whether you're writing it down on a whiteboard that you have at home, or if you're at school and using the whiteboard, or you have paper. Just be trying this problem. A bit kind of to the side so we can still write on here. Don't forget to
Can we
put
put our
some
answers in?
Huh?
Can we put our answers in?
Yep, go for it. Go ahead and put your answers on a sticky note and stick it up there. Cool. Awesome. Looks like you guys are all getting the right ones. Actually, I haven't even done the problem yet. So we're going to assume you're getting the right one. We're also going to assume that whoever put the first one up was correct, because I think some of you guys are just taking their answer and going for it. But that's fine. So how do we do this? What am I doing first, though? So if we have our answers, we all got
To do the
first.
parentheses.
Do your parentheses first. So what is 4 plus 6?
It is 10, and then we do 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 10 plus 2 equals
Good. So we do our parentheses first. Then we
I
can
did the
do 4
parentheses.
divided by 2. So 10 times 2. And 10 times 2 is what? Why aren't you scared? Good job, guys.
Yep. I did the first 2.
That's fine. Works for me. So,
Yeah, no, how many I did this time? I did 4.
all right, let's go ahead and go back over to our slides. I'm still presenting, right? You guys can still see. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. So go ahead and leave the Jamboard alone and come back over to the Google Slides so that we can talk about how to find the area of a triangle next, okay? We'll do a couple of practices of these, and then we're good with math for the day. We're going to do a lot of practice tomorrow when I get back and just working things out together just to practice it. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to present this so it's bigger. Okay. This time, with the area of a triangle, you do the base, so the bottom of your triangle, times the height of your triangle, which is from the bottom of your triangle to the tippy point. So base times the height, and then you divide it by 2. And if you think about it, let's see, do I have anything that's square in here? A rectangle? I have a book over here. Let me get the book. So if you're looking at me, I have his book, right? I'm going to come out of this for a second. So I have a book, right? It's a rectangle. Most books are rectangles. Huh?
yep.
Yep. So a triangle can be created if you split this book in half down the middle, correct? Create two
Yes.
triangles. So the way that the formula works is that you're doing the base times the height to get the area of this whole thing, and then you're dividing it by 2 to get the area of a triangle. That's where base times height divided by 2 comes from. It's a square or a rectangle divided by 2 to find half of it. Okay, so that's how that works with triangles. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of practice. Whoa. A little bit of practice with it. So there's our first, whoa, seems like it's too far. Not far. Here's our first one we're going to try. We have to do base times height and divide it by 2. What would be my base here? What's base?
The base would be 4 and 3 because it's right where that square is.
Yeah. In this case, it doesn't actually matter too much. So let's go ahead and say that the base is 4, so the bottom is 4, and then the height goes from the bottom to the top, which is 3. So when we get it plugged in, you have the base 4 times 3, and then you either multiply it by 1/2 or divide it by 2. Means the same thing. I think it's easier to just take the number and divide it by 2 instead of multiplying by 1/2. Just divide by 2 at the end. So you would do, it doesn't matter the order. So in this one, you do half of 4, which is 2, multiply it by 3, and you get 6. They don't have units here, though. What are my units? Centimeters, what?
Centimeters squared.
Good, centimeters squared, because we're still finding area. Awesome. All right, well, let's try another one. So this one, we don't have the generic right triangle where the base and the height are pretty easy to find. The base here is the same. It's 12. It's the bottom. It's your longest one. The height, though, can be 3 different things. You have this slanted height of 10, another slanted height of 10, and then you have a height of 8 that just goes straight up. So which one do you think is the height?
8 inches.
It's 8 inches. Good. It goes directly from the bottom straight to the top. You never want to use the slant height to find the area of a triangle. Those slant heights are not the actual height of your triangle. So keep that in mind. It's always the straight line from the tippy top of your triangle to the bottom. Okay? So let's try looking at it upside down this time. This is not very proportional. Doesn't really make that much sense. But this time, where's your base?
Your base is 7 inches.
7.
Is it though? 7 is my height. Yeah. So just because our triangle's upside down, it doesn't change where, like the base is.
Inside it were the base.
Nope. The base is the one on the bottom, or sometimes the top. It's
the one on the outer edge.
Yeah, the base is on the outer edge. The height is usually in the middle of your triangle. That's where this 7 inches comes from. Okay, so base times height there. Sorry for all the noises. There's a lot of like plowing and shoveling going on outside because we have a lot of snow. So, all right, let's do this one together. Okay, so we are on slide number 12. We're gonna do this one together, and then we'll do one practice on the Jamboard, and we'll be done. I hope that you guys aren't on the Jamboard right now. We're just chilling over here. Good, awesome. So, slide number 12. Let's do our practice here. I'm gonna get rid of the type here part. What's my formula for this? How would I find the area? What is the formula?
Length times width.
Okay, you're close. So we're going to do length times width, or sometimes they call it base times height. And then what do I do after I multiply the base times height together? If someone said something was very quiet, I couldn't hear it.
The height?
Well, what do I still have to do? We did base times height. What's the rest of the formula?
You have to do then you have to do h and then 2.
Divided by 2. There we go. I
Yeah.
found it. Divided by 2. This is like the major part that most people forget when they're learning how to find the area of triangles. They always remember to do the base times the height, but you have to remember to divide by 2. That dividing by 2 is a very key factor in this formula. So you got to make sure you divide by 2 at the end, okay? So let's go ahead and do this one. Our area is our base times our height divided by 2. What's our base?
The base is 30, and then the height is 20.
Good. Our base is 30, because that's the bottom of our triangle. It's on the outside is our base. And then we're multiplying it by the height, which is 21. And then we will divide it all by 2 at the end. So our first step is 30 times 21. So we'll go ahead and take about 2 minutes and do the base times the height, please. Okay, base times height first. 30 times 21. While you do that, I'm going to check attendance really quick. So be working on that, please. Base times the height. All right. Base times height. What is 30 times 21? What did you guys get?
It is 631.
6. You're close. Not 631. It's just 630. And then we need to do that.
It has a 21 on it. I did my math.
Yeah,
right.
but it's multiple. But
Oh yeah, I added the 1
0
in it.
at the end. Yeah.
I added the 1 in it.
Then we need to divide that by 2. 630 divided by 2. So go ahead and take a minute and work on that one. $630 divided by 2. Anybody got that one? I don't think I have it in my head. Okay, I got it.
315.
Good, it is 315. Now, this one doesn't have units on it, so how do we determine what the units are?
Can't we just pick a normal unit?
Kind of. When we don't know what they are, we just say units.
All right.
Because we can't name it specifically, but we do know that it's some sort of unit, some sort of measurement, right? So we just say unit square. There's our answer. Awesome. You guys are doing awesome today. I know finding area is not the most fun, but it's very important for later. We do that a lot for the next 2 weeks. So there are a couple more practices on these slides if you want to try these couple. There's 4 more with trapezoids and stuff, but we're going to do one more question on the Jamboard. So we'll do it together, and then we'll be all done. Okay, so let's go ahead and head over
Can you
to
find the area of a circle?
you will probably do that in maybe 7th or 8th grade.
So you can do it?
Yeah, you can find the area of a circle, yes. So hopefully we're all on our Jamboard. I'm going to draw a triangle and get some measurements put on there. Let's say it's that. Let's see. Let's say that our base is 12 feet. And our height is going to be 10. Okay. Before we get going, let's write the formula again so that we remember it. So our area is base the height divided by 2. Don't forget about that dividing by 2. So multiply the base times the height divided by 2. Let's plug some numbers in and we'll let you guys work on it. So what's our base here? What's the length?
The base is 12.
The base is 12. We're going to multiply that by the height. What is the height?
10.
10. And then after divide that whole thing by 2. Okay. So take about 2 or 3 minutes.
I did it.
All right, if you're already done, sit tight. I'll have you guys put the answer on there in about 2 minutes. I'm going to let everybody have the chance to work it out, okay?
Miss Jones,
Yeah.
are we doing any quizzes this week?
We will on Thursday.
Okay.
Yep. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You sounded so sad when I said it. All right. Got 1 more minute, and then we will put some answers up there.
My sister got these glasses. They're
You got
blue
what?
glasses.
Oh, those help with the light that comes from the computers.
I got some.
Yeah.
I got some blue lighting glasses.
Yeah, they're good for your eyes. They help it.
Yeah. If you can see the blue on them, I have them.
They helps my sisters a lot.
That's good. Sometimes it's hard to stare at a screen all day. Alrighty, are we ready to put some answers up? So this time, again, we'll put the sticky note from the left and write your answer up with units, please. Looks like we have one answer already. It's kind of funny that they go to like the same exact spot in the corner. Okay. I wonder if I can see. Okay. Let's get a couple of answers up there. We got 60 feet squared, 60 feet squared, 60 feet squared, 60 feet squared, 60 feet squared. Wow. Oh my goodness, I think I know what the answer is now.
Miss Jones?
Yeah.
What do you want?
It's called Jamboard. So maybe because you joined late, you weren't able to see it. Let me go to the meet. So at the beginning of the meet, I put this link up. And then you would click on the link that I just put in the Google Meet, and it takes you to the Jamboard that we're on.
Okay, thanks.
Look at that. We got all kinds of them. Somehow I feel like that one just half of them. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, if we're ever doing a Jamboard and the link isn't there for you guys, just let me know and I'll copy and paste it again.
Okay, I finished my 7 sticky notes.
Cool. So it looks like we all got quite a few of the same answers. So let's go ahead and just finish this up. Area equals. What is 10 times 12?
120.
120, and we need to divide that by 2. What is 120 divided by 2?
60.
60.
Oh my goodness. 60 feet squared.
That one is probably the easiest one today.
Probably, yeah. But again, later in the week, we are going to be throwing in decimals and fractions to these, so they might get a little bit harder, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the meet really quick. You guys can go ahead and close the Jamboard, so you don't need to be on it anymore. You can just hit the X and it'll log you out. So please go ahead and log out of the Jamboard. You don't need to be there anymore, and go back over to the Google Meet real quick, please, and thank you. I'm going to turn off our recording. Missed a little bit of the beginning, but that's okay. I didn't realize my face was so bright on